What's going on, y'all? Brandon and Lance here, Ugly Duckling Brewing. Boy, do we have a special treat for y'all today. Gonna be brewing a beer that we did probably 10, 12 years ago. Y'all weren't around to see that one. Kind of played with the recipe, improved on it since we've gotten better at what we do.
It made it much larger.
Made it much larger. We're going to be doing a barrel batch of a vanilla bourbon porter. This is going to be fun. And as you can tell, we got some odd things on the table here. Bourbon, Buffalo Trace bourbon. And I have some American oak chips, medium toast.
Yep, absolutely. So you can see here, again, we have full of buckets over here that are empty. Pots have covers on them right now. We actually got them running already. 74 gallons of water that we're trying to get the temperature right now. We had about 139 on the actual mash tun right now. Our HLT is already to 157, which we leave it about 3 degrees, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, Brandon showed you all this. We have our little cups. We're going to show you all here. This is going to be our hops. We like to mark our 60-minute and stuff like that, so we have random cups marked already. That way we have no confusion. We're going to grab, we're going to dump. Again, we'll show you this later. But I've already taken a pre-reading of our water. It's actually still in here, kind of sitting. Doesn't really matter. It is at 7.6. We like to take that number just to see where we're at, make sure our water's staying consistent from what we're getting from the city. We do have it on a filter. You'll see later we actually fill the pots up a day before to actually let whatever chlorine or filters mist come out, because chlorine is very bad for you. So 7.6, again, is just a pre-reading. When we do enough of these, we'll figure out what our grain bill is doing, and we're going to try to pre-treat our water. So when we take that 5-10 minute test with our grain in there, we'll see where we're at and what we actually need to drop, just to be a little bit more stable. But again, we'll show you all that today.
Next thing up, y'all gonna see is us actually making a yeast starter for this monster bill. It's coming next.
All right, hey guys, Lance from the past. Today we're going to show you how we do our yeast starter for our beer. As you can see, I have 3 here. For a barrel, we do 3 different starters. I have the stir plate sitting back here. But we do 3 starters for the barrel system. And as you've seen for the intro, we're doing a vanilla bourbon porter. Anyway, I have my 3 gallon jugs here for our starters. So 1, 2, 3. We do use the less foam sanitizer for these, just because the small bottle, it just kind of foams up. It's a mess with the other ones. And as you can see here, I got my propper, because we're going to be using propper. I got my yeast to sit in here. Everything's all sanitizing, as well as my aluminum foil to sit over the top while it's there on the stir plate. It's a little hard to see. Down here as well, I have my magnet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to walk through the process. You may also see here, I have a hose hooked up right now, currently going into our HLT tank. Where we do filter our water coming in, it's still a good practice. What we do is 24 hours before we brew, at least 24 hours before we brew, we go ahead and put our water in our pot, just because naturally chlorine will come out of water. We're gonna go ahead and go through the process here. I'll be right back. We're gonna let these finish sitting. We're gonna let them sanitize for at least 15 minutes, which I highly recommend you do, but I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So for you guys, it's been, I don't know, 2 seconds. For me, it's been 15 minutes. As you can see over here, I'm actually over into our mash tun now, and I'm filling it up currently with water. Just for reference too, that we're going to show this time when this brew is, we have 42 gallons in here, and obviously I have to cover up my HLT element in here. But I went past it, and I went ahead, I stopped at the 42 gallon water mark and noted it down on our board over here, just so at the end of the brew, we can actually look and see what we actually sparged over the top of our mash grain, to bring over to our ball kettle to get our final 42 gallons of what we need in here of liquid before we start balling. So just to give us a little reference point, it's outside the yeast, but hey, I think I'd give you guys a little more information, trying to give y'all everything that we have. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump one, show you the process of how we do this. We're gonna dump this out. I have, like I said, everything over here sanitized. We have our yeast, my foil, our proper cans are in the sanitizer. And then I have some distilled water over here to the side that I'm gonna use to fill the can back up to cut the proper in here with our yeast. So we do 1 can of proper, to 1 can of water back in the can, so 1 for 1, to the new pure pitch yeast right here, which we're doing a English ale. So I'll pour this in here first, then I'll come back, drop the propper, and then rinse the can with water, like I said, to get my 1-in-1, and then to rinse out all the liquid that's in the propper to get it going. So give me 1 minute here. I'm gonna go ahead and dump one very carefully without losing my magnet, and then I'm gonna get my hands going in the sanitizer again, since I've touched a couple of things, and it will start pouring. Be right back. All right, and we're back. And as you can see now, the bottle's empty. Again, we use the non-foam, so you can see there is a little bit of resin in here, but it ain't much. Just for you, the ones that don't use this less foam sanitizer, if you have the normal one, which is, let me grab it. If you have this one, the Star Sand right here, this one it does foam up a lot more. Just for reference, whenever you do pour out, obviously, you know, you're chunking this out. What I like to do, it also, you know, as you can see, my hands are wet, so I'm pouring over both my hands as I'm dumping it. It helps my hands stay clean and sanitized while I'm doing this. Obviously, I'm not touching everything. You'll have a lot of foam buildup in here from the Star Sand. Don't worry about that, leave it in there. Star Sand can't hurt you. It's meant to do that. It's just a barrier to keep you safe. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this going. I'm gonna kind of do my hands one more time in the sanitized water I got here. And we're gonna pull out our first one. I'm gonna give it a little shake. Make sure we get all you wanna try to get as much yeast and buildup you get off on the sides. These packs are pretty cool, you can see through them. So I can actually see nothing's on the sides, and these pours are really nice. I like these caps. There's no more cutting, you don't have to worry about scissors. It's just a whole, these things are nice. I mean, the cell count on it's a lot higher. You can do, they're a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it because it's less. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one in. And I'm just working the sides down. I'm making sure I'm getting all that yeast that's inside there. I want to get as much of that out as I can. White Labs does a really good job of giving you a good healthy strand. We want our starter to be as healthy as possible. So. All right, that's about done it. So I got it all there. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my first can of propper. Again, you can see it's been sitting in the sanitizer. Go ahead and pop it open. Pour it in here. There we go. And while I go get my water, I'm just going to take my foil just because it scares me when I'm messing with yeast. This is you don't want to get an infection here. You start off with an infection here, it just multiplies. So I'm covered. Let me get my water real quick. And this is water that it's distilled water that we boiled, cooled back off, and we put it back in the cans. It just makes it easier, so every time we're brewing, we don't have to sit here and do this. So I keep these bottles and I refill them. Like I said, it just makes for an easier day. One-to-one here. I put 1 can. I'm going in with 1 can of water. So what I normally do here is I'll pour about half of the water in. And I can see already the water's pretty clear, but I'm just gonna put that over the top again for a second. Give it a little shake. Try to get everything I can in there. You know, give our yeast the best scenario. There we go. Just for precaution, I'm going to dip this back into sanitized water, pull it back out, and this is pretty much done. It's ready to go. So I'm going to cover it up, make sure it's nice and tight. Stick it over here. And before I start the stir plate, I'm going to actually give that a swirl. So I'll be right back. I'm going to start the second one. Go ahead and dump this out, and we're going to keep moving. Be right back. Alright, so I did my best to try to create foam here, and this is the best I can do. I mean, this stuff here is really, really good for non-foam. I mean, it's amazing. If you have a clean in place system or anything like that, we also use that for it to keep the foam from overflowing over everything. So it's a great product. But so you can see here I got foam, and this is good. There's nothing wrong with this. This doesn't hurt anything. It's sanitizer. You can drink it. It's all good. I'm gonna show you here. So we're gonna do the same thing. Alright, back to these. So I got my 3 stir plates here. I got the magnets on the inside. I'm going to give this one last stir just to try to get anything I see on the sides. Because the stir plate obviously is shaking it, but I just want to get it all nice and shaken up. And see if I can bring this in closer. I want you guys to take note, and we'll try to show you this as we get closer to the brew, the color and how it looks. And then when we show you all this again later, it's cool how it changes color. So I'll go ahead and put this on here. Find my magnet. Pull it to the middle. But there you go. We have three starters going. Yeah, any other questions, leave it comments down below. If you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Hi, welcome back. So y'all saw us talk about what we're brewing. So now y'all know we're doing a bourbon vanilla porter. Y'all watched me do the yeast starter and kind of get everything going. We talked about how we had our water rolling already. We let the chlorine come out even though we have a filter. And now we're going to move into milling the grain.
Now it's time to mill.
It's time to go to work. So
we do have a couple of them that we're going to have to measure out and weigh out to get it, because, you know, order in bulk, save you money. But,
so there you go. He's loading our first bucket in, and we're going to go into time lapse here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll see y'all here in a bit. All right, so there you go. Y'all should have seen the time lapse there of us milling. Got it all going down. What we said we had, Brandon? 4 what? How many buckets we got?
4.5 buckets.
4.5 buckets. So you can see this is all the grain we have left.
Yeah.
That's going to get saved for another day. We'll move our stars of the show to the front.
Oh.
What you didn't see earlier is we have also our hops that's going in here, and you want to go ahead and read off our hops, and we'll go ahead and get this going.
We can look this up right now.
While he's looking at that, you can go ahead and see we're at 150 degrees now, so we're four degrees off from our mash-in temperature. Our water's sitting over here at about 158. We could crank this up to get it there closer, but then we learned it takes too long to kind of really reset, which honestly, you know what? We need to crank this up, and we need to overshoot. That way when we put our grain in, it doesn't, we're not doing nothing there. There we go.
All right, so we got 2 hop drops on this. We have a 60-minute drop, and we also have a 15-minute drop.
All right, we need to remark this one. We have 2 60-minute for some reason. Look, the markers right here. All right, 0 out. Wait, okay, 60-minute is what?
A lot.
A lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. The 60-minute drop, we have 6 ounces of Cascade.
All right, that's going to be this one. 6 ounces, you said?
6 ounces of Cascade. And 3.5 ounces of Chinook. At a pellet. 1 pellet. 1 pellet. Okay, maybe 3 pellets. 4 pellets. 5 pellets. Okay.
It's probably why we had 2 glasses of 60 minutes.
Yeah. Because we need 3.5 ounces of Chinook also in the 60. And then we have 3.5 ounces of Chinook. Oh,
we're back
to 60 again? Okay. So we need another cup is what you're saying.
We need another cup. You said 3.5 on this?
Yes. Wait, what's this?
That was some grain that fell out. One of the bags was cut, and I grabbed it out of the box.
Looks like 2 row.
3.5, right?
3.5. I'm walking in front of the camera.
All right, so.
And then we also have a 15-minute drop of 3.5 ounces of
So before I forget, more beer, do better. We had a bag that broke. It would have been worse than this, but luckily it was sandwiched. Y'all gave us a bag cut. Y'all normally better than that. Do better.
Yeah, they normally are better than that. All right, so 15-minute drop.
You said of Chinook, right?
Of Chinook, yes.
And how much is this going to be?
3.5 ounces.
That's 15 minutes?
Yep. I need to do something with this grain. What is this?
I mean, you can throw that.
What? What? No.
That was not crystal, though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is going into a leftover beer. Oh, wait, no. I didn't hear that. All right, so 3.5 ounces of Chinook again. See, getting greedy. There it is.
All right, so there you go. We need some Saccharomyces that we're going to drop in.
At 10 minutes.
And normally what we do is we back everything up on our shelf to keep us moving, so you'll see it over here in front of the yeast here in a second. But just to recap, because it was a time lapse, again, we milled everything but our flaked oat and flaked wheat. You saw that I did have an OO. I think I poured about a handful into one of them that we ended up pulling back out.
Yeah, the flake.
It doesn't really hurt if you mill it.
No, it doesn't.
The whole point of it, though, is to help make your bed, make your grain bed settle a little better and it holds, and then it does give you body. So that's the point of it. And as you can see, Brandon and I have been kind of picking things up and going. It's always good to keep a clean workstation.
Clean as you go.
So you don't trip over stuff, and then it's easier to clean. So we're going to go ahead and stop it here. Once we hit temp, like I said, we're going to overshoot by at least 8 degrees. We're going to shoot for 10. That when we come in with our grain, whatever temperature we lose, it's not as bad. We've done it in the past and had to sit there and wait to come back. While we're waiting for temperature to come up.
Getting close.
Getting close, 154.
Getting close. I'm going to be using my FermZilla. It's a 7-gallon plastic fermenter to go ahead and do this little concoction in. So we're going to be doing 2 pounds of oat chips. That smells amazing.
And so like Brandon said, what we're doing here is we're going to let these soak the whole time the beer is brewing.
And fermenting.
Sorry. And then what we'll do is once we clean out our fermentation tank, when we start carbonating, we're going to drop this in. We're going to pour in all of the bourbon, and then we're going to bag the chips up, and then we're going to monitor our
part of this hurts my heart.
Right. Then we're going to monitor the amount of oakiness we get as we're sitting here waiting for it for the flavors to come in.
Like Lauren's over there about to cry. I can see it.
And then once we reach the amount of oakiness we want, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull it off the oaks and keg it. So that's the point of all this. Fermenter might be a little too big here.
Might be a little too big.
We may have to rethink this.
Like extra oaked Buffalo Trace? Yes, please.
All right, new plan.
New plan around here.
We're keeping this like this. We're gonna hold off and put this in the fermentation tank once we
Straight.
actually
let's put it straight.
once we're actually in the carbonation side. After we're done fermenting and we're in our secondary, basically. So there you go. We're gonna go ahead and give this a couple more stirs.
Wow.
And we'll get this cleaned up, and then we're gonna move it up top right there, where it's gonna sit for the next at least 14 days. It
Yeah,
depends
about
on
to
how
say
quick
at
this ferments.
least 2 weeks, possibly 3.
Possibly 3. So catch you guys here in a bit. All right, here we go. We're back. We're gonna start mash now. You can see again we have our 4 buckets here. We got 4 full, 1 about halfway. That's about what we told you earlier. We got our flaked on top.
Flaked on top.
So we're gonna go at it. We're at 160 degrees. Our temperature we're shooting for is 154, but obviously we're gonna get temperature drop and put our grain in. I'm guessing about 148, 149ish. What you think?
Yeah, well, we're gonna be close to that.
All right, well let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let the fun begin.
It's good though, because while it's coming back up to temperature, we'll be able to take our pH reading and let the grain bed settle. And
So the good thing about a HLT system is I don't have to worry about any kind of elements or anything down here while I'm doing it. Our dip tube down there goes straight down with our false bottom, so I can actually get up on the false bottom right now and rub on it and not have to worry about hurting anything.
don't worry about scorching the grain too, which is really nice.
Right, true that. That's the number one benefit of it is it's really, I mean, if you scorch grain here, you did something really wrong.
I want to know how you did it.
I want to know how you did it.
Trick.
Yeah, that would be a magic trick. All right, so I'm giving this his final little stir. We'll see if Brandon can go over there on our controller on our HLT tank, and we're going to turn it down to probably about 158 for now, and we'll see if we can get this to level out. That's our biggest thing here is on this system is figuring out that sweet spot where we don't overshoot, and we found anywhere between 3 to 5 degrees off from what we want. All right, and then if you don't mind there, sir, I'm going to get you to adjust that because we're way too hard. We need to turn that down. I'll tell you when.
Say when.
All right, come on down. We're getting close now. All right, let's stop there for now. All right. And that's still a little too hard there. You can see right here, it's flowing pretty hard. Guys, you can see right here. The only reason why I'm doing it like this is we still got our bed that needs to settle down. We're probably going to have to prime this a couple times. We'll probably get stuck. But the object here is not so much to keep flipping everything over the top, but it's just to keep the liquid moving. So the more it sits in the grain, the more sugars we pulled out, which we've learned. So we
need to rinse it.
So we're actually going to slow this down a little bit more once everything settles down. But like I said, everything's about to drop right here, and then it'll take off from there. So we'll be back here shortly. All right. So here we're going to go ahead and take a little reading. We've been in there about 10 minutes, and I'd say I was pretty close over there. I'm Brandon, 150.
Yeah. Really close.
So not too bad. So we're going to go ahead and it's starting to come back up now. Our HLT is starting to level back out where we want it. But I'm going to go ahead and take a reading. So I just wanted to let you guys see real quick. All I'm going to do is fill this up to about to here. I'm going to cool this down to about 70 degrees or so. And then we're going to take a reading. So here you go. I'm going to go ahead and pull it. All right, there you go. So I got it here. We're going to go ahead and cut. I'll get this down to temperature so y'all got to see it, and then we'll be back. All right, here we go. I got this down to temperature. We're about 70 degrees right now. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, and I'll zoom in here in a second to show you the numbers, but here we go. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, power it up. I'm going to give it a little shake, and then we're going to let it stabilize. This one right here has a little smiley face on it when it's happy. I'll go ahead and zoom in. Brandon, let me know whenever they can see it.
Yep.
You can see the numbers.
5.8.
5.8, and you can look right here, the little smiley face. That means it's stabilized and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this into Beersmith, and then we're going to see how much we need to add.
All right, so we plugged everything in the beer smith. At 5.8, we needed to add 48.5 milliliters of 88% lactic acid, which will drop us down to 5.39, which is what we're looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in. Very dramatic, I know. But there we go. This should drop us back down. We're gonna take another test. It's probably in about 20 minutes or so, just to kind of see. As long as we have time to correct it before we get to transferring over to the bar, we're fine. So around the 30-minute mark, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take another reading, see where it's at. So we'll be back. All right, we're back. You can see right here, I got another little sample. All I basically did was came in here and pulled a little bit. I kind of cleaned it off a little bit, but you can see here, I'm in frame here. Yep. There's our color right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and chill this down. I'm gonna check our pH again. We're about 38 minutes into our mash. I'm gonna make sure we're where we need to be before we transfer over. We'll be right back. All right, so here we go. This is 35 minutes in. This is after we put, well, it was 48.5 milliliters of 88% lactic acid. Yep. We were shooting for 5.39. So right here, it's gonna look a little deceiving, but we had 5.2. Can you see it there? Yep. There you go, 5.2. But we still, so we're gonna transfer the wort over at 5.2 into the ball kettle, but we're still gonna be rinsing on top with our sparge, which is gonna drop us back to, we'll be right at that 5.4 mark from what we've seen. So we'll be back shortly. If you don't mind, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. All right, guys, welcome back. Just finished up with our mash. It's time to start transferring the wort over from the mash tun into the ball kettle and coming out of the HLT into the mash tun, sparge over into it. We're also going to take a pre-ball gravity on it, see where we're at so far on our pre-ball before we start heating it up, getting it ready to do. So to put on top of what Brandon said here, so we're gonna, once we swing over, the trick is we need to max our, what we're coming out of here into here needs to match what we're pushing into the ball kettle. So from our HLT into our mash tun into our ball kettle, need to all line up. Eventually we're gonna buy the little floater where we don't have to worry about it. We haven't gotten it yet. We've been too worried about bourbons, I guess. So that is my next purchase where we ain't gotta worry about that. So we're gonna go ahead and break down how our switches, not our switches, well, our manual switches, I guess. Yeah, valves. Our valves to work here. And we'll take you along for the ride here. So what we're gonna do is, and before we turn everything, is the little lever here. So on our system, whatever way the handle is pointing is what's off. So right now we're actually up here, which means the liquid's coming in down through the HLT. Instead of coming over this way. We're blocked here, which means it can't go this way. It turns through, goes through our HLT coil, comes back out and over the top. So at this point, we want to flip and go to the ball kettle. So this is going to end up going down, which will send it that way. And then Brandon is already turned off. So we're gonna turn this actually this way. That way, right? Which stops it from going to the counterflow. And then we're gonna turn this off to be able to not go up to the pump. Oh, I'm sorry, not to the pump. Not to the pump. There you go. So now we're gonna come in and back over the top. So over here we're good here. So now it's just a point of me flipping here and here to get us right. So when I turn this lever this away, we're gonna kill to the pump. We're gonna turn that down to push back to him, and then we're gonna be good to go. Let me make sure we're good here. So over here, we're not going to our counterflow. You can see here, we're not going there, and we're not coming down. So we're coming up and over and then through. Wait. So, yep, that's right. No. I got to flip that. I haven't turned it yet. Oh, I'm like, wait, no, that's still going to HLT. Okay. Go ahead and kill both pumps so we don't push stuff halfway through. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to kill this because we don't want to go back into the HLT. We're going to come here. I don't want to push to there. So I want it to come in through the HLT and over the top. And then I need this to push to him. So there you go. So we're going to do the mash pump first. Yep. And we'll do the HLT pump. All right, so there you go. Up top up here, y'all can see here, we're still black on top, but that's going to clean up here shortly. And there it goes. It's starting to kind of, there you go. Now we're clear. So now we're clear on top. Oh, that's beautiful. And now you can see us coming to the tank. You should be able to see this here. We're coming in. Brandon's going to go ahead and grab our tube. We're going to take a little measurement here for our pre-ball. This is before sparge, so everything you see right here is what our mash is done.
And then I'm gonna adjust this.
All the foams. That color though.
There you go. Now you can see here, slowly coming out. It's not too hard here. As well as nothing coming out here. There we go. So what we'll do here, because we don't have the little flow, we're gonna watch our levels here. We'll make sure we're pretty close, and then we'll adjust on this side if we need, or add more water on top if we need. So we're gonna kind of watch this for a minute. Brandon's over there. We actually have the hydrometer that works in 150 something degrees. So we're gonna see what our numbers are, and it looks like he doesn't have enough.
Hey, we're floating.
There we go.
I made a mess.
We'll wait till we get above our elements, which you should be able to see here. Once we get over our elements, we'll turn that on and we'll help our boil come over as we're bringing our sparge over. That way, once everything's transferred, we should be able to go straight into our boil time where we're not hurting on time. The trick's always to brew efficiently and not waste too much time. So as Brandon's sitting here checking it, we'll see what it is and we'll plug it into the beersmith and see what we're supposed to be.
What did Beersmith say we were supposed to be pre-ball? Do you know?
And it's coming up.
I'm loving this number right here.
Well, it's going to be high.
Oh, it's really high.
It's going to be. It's not.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't have the sparge water in it yet. So estimated pre-ball 1057. That can't be right.
Yeah. Where we at?
1080. That can't be right.
Well, no, but that's pre-ball, so that's mixed in with before. We should be pre-sparge right here. Beersmith doesn't give us that.
Okay, so we're 1080 pre-sparge. Yeah. Okay.
So once we bring over our sparge, we'll know. We'll bring that. So do that. Mark that as
pre-sparge. Yeah, pre-sparge, and then we'll mark it again at pre-boil when the sparge water's in there.
So, and y'all should be able to see here. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look like our levels have dropped much. So you can see here we've been following kind of the same line, and then over here we're actually coming up. So that means we're at a pretty close flow.
You nailed your flow on the first shot?
I think so. What? We'll see what it does here. We're going to keep our eye on it for a little while. We'll see where it goes. You know, sometimes we have to adjust. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to keep doing this until we hit our 42 gallons over here. Normally this takes us about 30 minutes, but again, we saw this on a short circuit brewery.
Right, and we've noticed that our efficiency's gone up since we started doing this.
I mean, it's crazy to me because you'll see eventually this is going to lighten up here. So eventually, once we're in here, we're going to circulate it a little bit. We'll grab our pre-ball and we'll be back and show you you guys that number. Yeah. All right, welcome back.
How's it going, guys?
I'm gonna do this. Somebody may have took a photo instead of a video a while ago. So here you go. This is our mash tun coming over with our liquid right now compared to our ball kettle of what's coming over. So we're gonna come up until you see here we have a
top of that clip.
Top of the clip. So we're still bringing over. You can see right now that we have a nice little color. Brandon's gonna go ahead and turn on our
get the elements and stuff going.
Our elements going. I'll kind of leave this like this. So
right now we're gonna turn the inverter controller on full power, 100%, so we can start getting this heated up.
Go ahead and check our power. See where we're at.
Let's see.
So right now we're at 0. So he's gonna crank that up.
100.
So right now we're at 100%.
And we're gonna turn both elements on.
There you go. So now we're gonna start balling here. In a minute we're gonna flip that pump on and we'll start circulating right here. Where we're circulating while we're pumping, just so we can mix in our sparge and our mash liquid in, so we can take a pre-reading while this is starting to warm up. I mean, we're coming over. It says 71 degrees, but it's not. It's just
because
we're off here.
Elements on the end here.
So apparently it's 71 degrees inside our bar right now. So here in a minute we'll come back on. We'll show you guys once we start circulating. We're gonna grab another pre-ball to check our gravity, make sure we're good, and we'll be back here shortly.
All right, y'all. See you in a minute.
Welcome back, guys. We got the ball going. I'm going to show you here.
Rocking and rolling.
Should see it here in a second. There you go.
And rocking.
Got a nice little ball going on. We're going to let this go for 30 minutes before we do our first hop drop.
And like we told y'all before, too, see your blue hose going out right here. Draining the rest of the water and sanitizer outside. Pumping it out, and we'll get this drained off, ready to rock and roll, because HLT is full and ready for ice.
Ready for ice. So we got that circulating too, just to We'll be back in about 30 minutes. We'll show you guys. You can see right here where it actually came over the clip a little bit. We brought in more living water we needed, but it's all good.
Well, I remember as it boils too, it swells up in that tube.
Swells up in the tube. So we're going to do a pre-reading here in a second, so we'll be right back with that. But we'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. We'll let y'all know what our pre-ball is and then show our first hop drop.
Yes, indeed.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
All right, welcome back, guys. Let me kill this. All right, we went ahead and we hit our level here. You can see we're at our clip.
42 gallons.
42 gallons here. We're getting really close to a boil, so we actually timed this pretty good.
So yeah, we're getting really close to a boil. It's starting to do the little roll thing. So we're kind of watching it and paying attention to it right now because we want to make sure to control this ball, turn the power down on the elements like we need to do to make sure that we don't get some boil over. Obviously, with this kind of beer, there's a lot of protein, so there's a pretty thick protein head sitting on top of this beer right now.
Right. So normally we have the phone propped up there, but we had issues. It's a Wednesday, so
it's a Wednesday.
But you can see here we started to kind of roll a little bit. So we're getting close to a ball. We're really close. We're about to start circulating. If you want to go ahead and replumb us, Brandon.
Right.
Yes. There you go. You good?
Yeah. Okay. And then open this.
No, you're good. You're coming up the top.
Okay. And then turn the pump on.
So you can see here it's starting to bubble a little bit. There you go. You can see we're starting to roll now. So that break you're seeing is not really ball right there. That's just us throwing it over the top. We actually have it set up to where it's whirlpooling. If you've seen it when we were pumping earlier, the little dip tube goes down and then turns. So it's forcing this around. There you go. It's kind of settling down a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of stir here. We're going to break this.
Once we figure out exactly which part of this pot it wants to roll up, because, it seems like every time we brew it wants to leave us guessing as to where it wants to break at. And with that now too, y'all, just so y'all are aware, we got the Star Sand water mixture pumped out of here into the HLT tank. We got the water above the coils. We didn't want to fill it too much higher because we'll be putting ice in this, because this is what we're going to use to recirculate through the counterflow, cool the water down when it's time to transfer it over into here. So with doing that, we sanitize the counterflow. We sanitize the line coming back from the ball kettle. So all that's ready to go. Obviously, this is fully sanitized. So, yeah.
Yep.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, people, especially when it comes to beer.
You can see here we're still climbing. Next time y'all see us, y'all might see a blue hose coming out right here. That's basically us we're gonna continue to drain the bright tank or fermentation tank out into my ditch in my yard, just to get the rest of the liquid out, because we had obviously too much spread in here.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in a bit.
All right, y'all.
We had the 15-minute mark here. We're gonna go ahead and make our 50-minute drop, which is how many ounces?
3.5 ounces of Chinook.
3.5 ounces of Chinook.
About to get this party started.
So you can see here we're down to about 39 gallons of water. We're hoping we lose about another 3 gallons in the next
15 minutes.
15 minutes. If not, it doesn't matter. We're just going to leave it behind. But here we go. We're going to drop it in. All right, there you go. Y'all get the picture. We're going to do this for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be back in four minutes to do our Cervomyces drop, our yeast nutrient drop.
Yep, there we go. Hot break is gone. Awesome. So we're good here. So in a second here, you're probably going to see we got some pots disappearing. We're already starting to break down and start cleaning stuff. So we'll see you in a second.
Welcome back, guys. All right, down to the last 5 minutes of the ball. We're going to go ahead and drop our Cervomyces in. That's our yeast nutrient. No, in the pot, not. The brewery is totally 1 and 2.
So we can see here who the slacker is. I don't see said beer in hand. You should be drinking a beer while you're brewing, but
notice who's dirtier. Who's the slacker? Okay.
He's been doing some cleaning. We had some kegs. Don't judge. 12 plus years.
12 plus years. Wait, hold on. They weren't at our house.
They weren't at our house. We had a friend that borrowed them, and I would say I was impressed. The kegs were under pressure.
They were under pressure. Under pressure.
And one actually was still carbonated.
Yeah.
The honey amber, which is something we brewed.
We didn't drink them, to say all aware, because they were in a hot garage.
We didn't.
I wanted to try them so bad, though.
We actually had a brew fest, though. It was probably about 13, 14 years ago, where we invited people over. You bought a glass and got to drink for free. And we had a honey amber, a pale ale, and a 4 and extra stout. That was in all 3 kegs. The honey amber keg was still under pressure, was still carbonated. It was amazing. So I may post some pictures. I have some pictures of it to show you guys, just so you can see. But anyways,
currently trying to clean those 3 kegs right now, and also brewing equipment.
Correct. So we dropped this in. We got another 10 minutes here. We're going to kill the flame out here. Then we're going to start counterflow chilling into our fermenter. So we'll see you guys in a bit.
See y'all in a minute. Welcome back, y'all. We have officially reached the end of our boil. We're going to go ahead and shut this down.
You can see here we're
Turn
down
it
to
off.
about, let's see, 35. We're at about 37 gallons, which is okay. We normally shoot for about 36. We had an aggressive ball. We did bring over an extra gallon of water, but we overshot our pre-boil by 10 points.
Yeah.
So I think we're good, especially being this is a vanilla bourbon porter. So we're gonna up the alcohol no matter what when we put the bourbon in. So
Oh, yeah. Y'all already saw.
that part, yeah, it's over there
Getting happy.
getting happy. So we have a pot missing. We started cleaning. Brandon's working on some pots. I'm working on some fittings. We're gonna go ahead and hook up the counterflow to the fermentation tank. So we're gonna show you guys that. So we come in over in our gauge right here. So I'm just gonna pop this off real quick. This is circulating right now, and it's circulating through our counterflow. We do have ice in here to chill it, and you can see we're down to
Down to 42.2 degrees. We're going to send it.
Oh, actually, wait.
Oh, to get
We need to get
the
the water and stuff out. Yeah, that'll work. We got to clean that anyway. All right. So what we're going to do here is we need to check our plumbing. You want to go ahead and adjust yourself?
No.
So
okay.
you just need to swing that over. It's a block going out the other way. There you go. Perfect.
All right.
And then you need to swing the other one down. So currently we're allowing the fluid to come in. We're blocking this away. We're coming up. We're blocking this away. Sending it over underneath the thing to our counterflow out to here. So Brandon's going to turn on. We're going to open up the gauge. Open up the, open up the valve. So we have beer. All right, go ahead and turn the pump on. And what I'm doing now is I'm pumping out whatever water we have in here. You can see this is water in the counterflow that we're pushing out. As soon as I see beer, I'm going to have it stop. We stop. There you go.
I'm pretty sure y'all can see. I think I have it adjusted enough for y'all to be able to see. He's hooking that line coming out of the counterflow into the top of the fermenter. It's already been cleaned, already been sanitized. We have the glycol chiller currently running, helping cool it off. So the glycol chiller is going to work in combination with our counterflow chiller to make sure that we can get this beer down to temp as fast as possible.
So you can see now we're up top on our gauge. That's our pressure gauge for when we start carbonating. We obviously don't need that right now because we're pumping beer in. This is our pressure relief valve that I'm putting back on. I'm just tightening to make sure. I do have this open right now, so any pressure we got building because we're putting hot water in here, that it actually allows pressure to come out because you can't create a bond with pressure. So now that we have beer flowing, we got everything off. We're gonna double check off, off, off. We're good. So go ahead, sit it.
Okay, is the counterflow currently pumping,
Counterflow is
running?
pumping. Yep, we're at 38 degrees.
Rolling.
We're at 38 degrees right here with our water going. We're good to go.
All right.
So we're gonna go ahead and send it. There you go, right one. So you can see here we're pumping beer into here now. You're gonna see here in a second we're gonna start climbing in temperature.
Oh yeah, I'll start climbing for sure.
You're also gonna see over there our 38 degrees is gonna start kind of climbing up as well. It's just nature of the beast. There's nothing we can do about it. Again, we talked about this. We do it this way so we don't waste water. Most people use a
chiller or
a wort chiller or something, either in the brew, which we don't like doing because yes, technically you can put it in and ball off any infection,
you're still chancing it though.
but you're still chancing it. Other people put a counterflow inside of an ice bucket, run water through it, and then disregard the water instead of circling them back. We circulate it back into our ice. If we come in here a little hot, who cares? We got our glycol system working, we're good. So most part we hit the water, our wort normally ends in here at finish at about, 80 something degrees?
We're normally in there around 80.
So it takes another 20 minutes for the glycol system to get it from 80 to 67 in this case. So be it. We'd rather save the water. So we won't bore you guys with this right here. We're basically draining out our tank. We have 36 gallons or 32 gallons we need to bring over to here. We're going to leave some back, which is our hops and everything else. So we'll see you guys in a bit here. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
All right.
The ball kettle empty. If Brandon scoots over here, there you go. You can see we drained. So now we got cleaning here. So we're going to start working on that. We're going to clean this off. We already started on our mash tun. It's outside getting cleaned. What did we finish at? What was our temperature?
102 in the HLT.
102.
But in the fermenter, though.
So we came over balling to fermenter at 75 degrees,
75.8.
not wasting water. Obviously, we're going to waste what's in the HLT, but if we'd have kept
No, we're going to use
our water circulating the whole
use some of
time,
that to clean with.
yeah. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to backflow this through the pumps that are left. You can see we have a couple pumps left and the counterflow. We're going to pump that back through our pumps and then outside into the ditch, which will help us somewhat clean. We're still going to break everything down and clean. Obviously, we're scrubbing. If you can see my bar right now, I got nothing but chrome and
You got so many
there.
valves and fittings and T's and
So we're going to work on cleaning here. We're at, like I said, 75 degrees. We need to get this down another 8 degrees
67. That's where
before we pitch our yeast, which our yeast is turning away over there. You can see it. So we'll see you guys here in a bit. We're going to wait until we got everything clean, back plumbed and ready to go.
Show y'all pitching the yeast.
We'll show us pitching the yeast by then. So hopefully we'll see y'all guys here in a second.
There you go. All right, I wanted to bring y'all in on this little janitorial adventure we got going on here. Just so y'all know, like we told y'all, janitors first, brewers second. This is us cleaning ball kettle, mash tun right there, kegs getting cleaning our cleaning place system over here. These are kegs that have already been cleaned, waiting to get sanitized. Yeah, no, look the sud mess we got going on. You know, this is just a little behind the scenes. Thought y'all like to see this.
All right, welcome back, guys. You can see here we got the kettles all back in. We're all clean. Here's the beer.
Well, yeah, what's left after we
tasted and everything. So
got our little sample and
let me do a zoom up for you.
checked our original gravity.
Checked the original gravity. We finished at
1066.
1066, which is what Beersmith said we should have. So
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if you guys use Beersmith or what's the other one? Beer Friend,
Grainfather.
Grainfather.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other one is.
Brew Friend or something like that. But either way,
Yeah,
all of them are the
Brewer's
same.
Friend.
Brewer's Friend.
Yeah.
All of them are the same. It's your preference. We just happen to start with Beersmith. The important thing on that is if you put your numbers in after every brew, it eventually learns your system and then it saves you on grain. I highly recommend whatever program you use and make sure you edit after every brew. So
Man, we've been doing it for 3 years and we still edit after every beer we brew.
every brew. So everything we got here, all of our numbers, we're going to plug it into Beersmith, make sure that it knows what it is. It's going to recalculate again, but we nailed it, 166, and that's what it said we should have been.
1066. Yep, absolutely.
So we got 1066. The IBUs on this is supposed to be 49.9. The color's
45.3.
0.3, but we probably ended up darker than that. Our ABV, if it follows suit, we should be around, I think 6% is what we were looking for.
So.
The bourbon might put us over. Our pH level, our original was 5.8. When we put in our lactic acid, we ended up jumping down to 5.2. Whenever we brought over our sparge water into our boil, when I checked it again, we were right at 5.31. It doesn't, I mean, I'm assuming because it was bouncing between the 2 and the 3 that we were right at that 5.3. Pre-sparge gravity, so that was
10,
before
1080.
sparge happened, was 1080.
Yep.
And then we hit, what was it, 1050, 1060?
Pre-ball gravity was 1065.
1065.
Yep.
So we actually only lost 1 point from pre-boil to, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's very weird.
We also had 49 gallons of water, and then we finished with 46. Somewhere in there. We overshot our number a little bit. This thing right here is full. We definitely have
36 is where we finished with.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Our mics failed here, so if you guys don't mind, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button, hit the little notification bell below so we can notify you guys when we put out a new video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.